Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Transparent Podcast. We have a very, very special guest with us today. Could you please introduce yourself? Let them know your name, where you're from.
I don't know. I'm just kidding. My name is Koala. Actually, Vanessa. I'm from Chicago. I've been living in Chicago my whole life. Also, what I do. So I'm a creative business consultant. So I help 420 and 420 friendly businesses elevate their lives and basically like hone in different aspects of your habits, your lifestyle choices, and your career goals so you can make them actually happen.
How did you get into, actually before we start that, growing up in Chicago, could you just give us a little spiel what that was like for those who may not know?
Yeah, so a little bit about me is that I come from like my mom, who is like a Jehovah's Witness, little angel, super sheltered, born in Mexico but came here when she was young, so she basically lived like a Chicana life. Like being from Chicago and Mexican is huge because we value a lot of our culture. And then my dad, he was born in Chicago and like he was a gang banging, like breakdancing, tagging, like cool entrepreneur. Not anymore, but he was more on like the tagging and fun side of things. Yeah.
Okay.
So growing up, I was basically just in the middle of like being from the city and then moving to the suburbs, so having a balance between like what we call with the shits, so meaning like if something were to happen where I'm like in an argument with somebody, like I can hold my ground, or if I need to like hustle my way into anything, I can always be with that like innovative mindset.
Yeah.
And then with my mom, she made me super nurturing. So growing up was always like either we go camping like just outside the city, or like being around family members a lot because we're very close knit. And then basically just like watching my parents grow up with one another because they were 20 when they had us. Yeah. So it was very, for me, it was very different because I had like the Chicago city, inner city lifestyle from the south side, but I also went to the suburbs just outside of it. So it was always like I was kind of a token in the suburbs.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, like, oh, you're from Chicago, so we're already assuming a little aggression.
Yeah, you're a little aggressive.
Yeah. But it was cool. I mean, it was always like I didn't learn to ride a bike till I was 15. Because when I was in the city, I didn't need to ride a bike because we were basically just on the same block, if not. We would like, I rollerbladed, go to the park, public pools, stuff like that. And then when I got to the suburbs, I avoided a bike. I just didn't want to learn. I didn't want to be embarrassed. Like, how are you 13 to 15 and not riding a bike?
Okay. But then the longer you wore it, it make it worse?
Oh yeah, it was so embarrassing. Eventually, when I first learned, I went like down a hill and then crashed into a car and like flipped. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. It was really bad. But yeah, I mean, it gave me a sense of like alertness, being from Chicago and like everybody in the industry, meaning like any service, so like bar, club, night scene, cannabis, events, everybody is kind of with like that hustle mentality. So out there, I've noticed more even in like my business life that it's more like family based. Like if I can't break bread with you, I don't want to make bread with you, because everywhere else I've like moved is just like industry. There's no community industry.
Wow. That's quite the spiel. So,
we kind of love being from Chicago.
No, I definitely hear you. So like, with you with like the cannabis industry and all that good stuff, how did you get into it, per se? And then like, could you maybe go into, after like how you got into it, like how, for the better or worse, how it may have affected any like relationships with family or friends or, you know, other people? So,
like a very long story short, I started smoking when I was 13. My mom found out when I was 14. I was in my closet with like one of those little foil pipes you make. Like literally, like if you've never made a foil pipe or an apple or smoked out of a can, you're not a real stoner. You can be a pothead, but not a stoner.
Hey, I'm not a stoner. I have not done those things.
Hi, my name's Transparent, and I don't smoke weed.
So it started in the closet.
So it started in my closet, and then when I finally got out of the closet, my mom was right there. So I was actually sitting there about to take a second hit in my closet when she opened the door. And she's like, Ariana, what are you doing? So I had two choices. Take one more hit and get my ass beat, or get my ass beat. So I was like, fuck it. And she's like, pew. She's like, get that out of here. No, 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 no. So fast forward to I'm 18, I'm thinking I'm grown. Like, I'm still having issues with her throughout all those years. So it was definitely very hard on me and my family relationship growing up.
Yeah.
But I didn't like any drugs. So for me to even smoke weed, it was something where I was like, why would I fight for something if it was really bad for me? So then, fast forward almost 2 years later, I had already moved back from Texas, and I told her, I was like, I don't need to live with you. But if you want me here and I like being here, you're going to have to understand that I have a very positive and healthy relationship with cannabis. I'm a longtime mental health patient, and I feel like it's super, super beneficial, not for everybody. But it definitely helped once I had more confidence with my arguments for cannabis with my family, because fast forward to last winter, and this is now what, 5 years later, 6 years later since I've been openly using cannabis in my family. And at a dinner, my grandpa had a edible cookie in his pocket that he kept eating bites of. My uncle was like, oh my gosh, so I've never really smoked like that. Will you teach me? Da da da. And I do classes. Like, I'll have people understand what cannabis is or how to use it. But yeah, so I had a little stick of butter that I had just gotten, and I gave it to him, and I was like, yeah, for sure, just grab a little bit, put it on your toast. You can even put it in your coffee, like the what is it called? I don't know. There's some coffee that keto people use.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was just very interesting. Like, I almost wanted to cry, because I was like, am I really sitting at a table literally chilling, and my family's openly talking to me about weed? Like, they're coming at me and they're like excited. That was weird, okay? So with that, like, my family relationships, I think that it made them understand. And if I didn't battle with them for my fight for cannabis, then I wouldn't be where I am today. If I would have given up cannabis, my life would be so different. Yeah. And they would have never been able to open up their perception of it either. And my grandpa's old and broken already, you know? He needs it. My sister, she's special needs and developed seizures a couple years ago, and now we give her Rick Simpson oil, and it really benefits her.
Wow. So pretty much like you said, you know, started in the closet. You know, you had the kind of back and forth with it. You know, 18, and you kind of you know, you had kind of like your points to argue it a little bit more, things like that, and then eventually, like, you know, some of the members of the family and all that actually, you know, one, heard you, and then two, actually partook and had some benefits or some things that it was able to help them with, like, go through.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's what blew my mind the most, because I knew my grandpa was a very like conquistador. Like, he was the type that would like rally and do a lot of like that philanthropic or marching stuff back in the day in Mexico. And he has a picture. I wish I had it, but the bark is probably like as thick as a fan and like this tall, and it's a whole little marijuana tree he's like standing up next to. So I always knew my grandpa had a history of being accepting, but I never expected my family to be so like welcoming towards it.
Wow.
And then with like romantic relationships, I've learned that you really do have to smoke as well, or be super okay with it, because you have to like be conscious of your partner at all times in a way, because it's a compromise, you know? Like, let's say you don't smoke, but you're totally okay with it. You just know you don't like how it makes you feel. You're not going to judge that other person in a way. And like, I had an ex who he wanted to, you know, sip lean and smoke and chill with rappers and shit. I'm like, but I live that life. So the more I would smoke, it was like, why are you judging me when this is one of your goals in life? So if I would get like elevated around him, he would start. Elevated. Yeah.
Hey, see, I'm learning the lingo.
He would try to make it seem like if I was ditzy or if I was like slow, and I'm like, I am slow right now, but I'm not stupid. So it really just depends. Because then me and my other ex, we loved weed, but it was also very boring eventually. Because what else are we doing? We're just smoking weed.
Yeah, that's that can get pretty de-elevated. Okay, I'm not funny. Anyway, but no, appreciate you sharing that, and like, you know, because I think this is for sure my first podcast, like, you know, kind of talking about cannabis, things like that. So like, a lot of my viewers, like, this content to their ears is like, oh shoot, like, what are you talking about? But
yeah,
hey, here we are.
It'd be interesting to see how many viewers are actually cannabis users.
Yeah, and you I almost brushed over this point, and then could you speak about how has it been with you and like what you do and all that, being like a woman in the cannabis industry? Like, has that have you experienced any, I don't know, scrutiny, backlash? Has it been positive, or what's been your experience just being a woman in the industry, seeing this, like, you know, a lot of males?
So there's like two ways you can go being a woman in the cannabis industry. You could be one of those girls and definitely make it far in whatever avenue, whether it's influencing or trimming or bud tending. But you could be one of those girls who like just becomes a groupie. Or you could still be kind of like a groupie but not be sleeping with everyone. So for me, I took that route. And I've always been business oriented. I've always wanted to, like, I know between the engineering, law, or this, it's all very male dominated because I'm in school for all that. But being a woman in this field, I wouldn't say it's harder. It's just I have to maneuver differently, because in one room where I could wear like a nice cute outfit, I can't. I have to be more like...
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I have to be more reserved, and I have to be more like forward with my thinking and my communication skills, because if I get too loud, or if I start trying to haggle prices, or if I try to like do anything that a man would do too, I'm looked at as, oh, I'm being bitchy, or I'm being cheap, or I'm trying to be like, you know, like that girl that tries to ask for deals, or different things. So I have to always pick my words wisely, and I always have to like be very conscious that I don't have a very, very extreme feminine outfit or something on, which men don't have to think about like what their outfit really is.
Yeah.
But if I wear something too revealing, I'm not going to be heard. But if I wear like something too lazy, I look cheap. So for me, it's been a very like, it's a little easier for me because I've always been kind of like a tomboy girl.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So just like you almost literally like outside of like just the industry and trying to, you know, make your bread and this and that, you thinking about the little nuances that could possibly, you know, even though it may not be nothing you're trying to portray or whatever, but just the fact of you being a woman, if you do these certain things with being in the industry and whatever, like it's just a whole different spotlight that's on you that could not even be what you about.
Yeah, like I one time took a meeting with this dude, and thankfully he wasn't the one who tried to make it seem like we did anything, but because it was like 9 o'clock at night or whatever, and we were somewhere, I think like he posted a story or something, or no, he posted a story, I reposted it, and someone messaged me with like those googly eyes, and I was like, question mark, and they're like, oh, you and so, and I'm like, because I'm a girl meeting up with a dude because it's the only time we have at night, oh yeah, I'm totally smashing, for sure, totally happening.
Wow.
So for me, it's like all these little high school kind of things that I have to avoid. Being with a boy alone, or if I go out to lunch with you and you pay for me, you think you're gonna like, it's like a little different. No, honey, I'm sorry, it's business. I've bought lunches for people and stuff like that, you know. So it has to do with, how do you explain it?
Just like the perception.
I really have to just be very masculine forward and make sure that there's no perception that's misconstrued, and I have to keep my energy intact in check. In check.
Wow. Dang, I never knew that. But no, that definitely makes sense. And like I said, being a woman, or like, you know, you could, like you said, no one would know that, like, you know, that was the only time y'all was able to meet or what have you. But automatically, oh, a chick past whatever time outlay, like, oh, they like together or doing something, and it's completely like, no, like, we just getting some stuff done. And it's the only time we can meet.
And that ties back to my dating. I don't like to date in general because it's always like that jealousy, insecurity, like, oh, I'm a hoe because blah, blah, blah. I'm around all these dudes. So I always have to make sure that even if I want to sleep with someone, I can't. Because I know that this person's connected to all of this, and now it's gonna be super messy. And now, you know how people talk about like being a homie hopper? Oh. If I slept with any of my friends, I'd be fucking homies. So it sucks. I couldn't do it. It's crazy because it's like all that insecurity stems from me not even doing anything crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, that's definitely something that you know, if any
leave your girl alone.
Watching it, stay away. Just leave it alone. But no, I do appreciate you sharing that and talking about like what it was like, or what it is like being a woman in the industry and things like that. Also, I wanted to switch gears a little bit. Talk a little bit about like relationships, things like that. And actually, matter of fact, before we get into it, so I don't forget, we have this like affirmation, a little sheet that I got from someone named Golden, and I gotta find your IG. I know you're out there somewhere. And I don't know if we exchanged. Yeah, I don't know if we exchanged IGs, but I literally couldn't find because I was like, I just remember her name was Golden. But we'll definitely find you. I know people.
It's not this.
Know people that know you. Nah, I tried that too. Oh. And nothing. But we'll find you. But Koala here, or Vanessa, she's gonna. She's gonna read this, and like we're just gonna see like, I don't know what vibes you get from it or your initial impressions.
Yeah, if you need the
yeah,
with the little
yeah, right. All that stuff.
All that stuff. Yeah. Alright, audible affirmations for high frequencies. You, a high frequency motherfucker, takes a lot in this universe just to touch you. Connecting with you is a blessing, so much so. I know a higher power sent me and let me feel your vibration. I hope you pour into yourself with no hesitation. Accept yourself with no hesitation. Allow in your atmosphere no degradation. No solicitation. No selling yourself. Your OG energy hits for free. But you are a luxury. You are free mentally. And you embody your authenticity. You and the universe are in synchronicity. Abundance is your aura. I recognized you as soon as you walked in. Passion is your high. Elevation is your ethnicity. Purpose is your love language. Wellness is your walk. You a high vibrational motherfucker.
So
it says MF, but
yeah, it's PG.
Know what that is.
It's all PG.
My bad, guys. Beep, beep.
But so what do you like from reading that? I don't know. What's your initial thoughts? I told her I would like get a reaction live on.
Yeah.
So here we are.
I love all the dictation words that she had, where you have to like literally pronunciate.
Yeah, she got some big words in there.
Those are a lot of big words.
I'm glad it was her reading it.
Hey, low-key, I was gonna say, not a lot of people can read all those big words. Yeah. But it was pretty cool to read it as like, it's a modern day, like one of those little hippy dippy things you'd read online back in the day. Okay. From like MySpace, you know, those little things. And it's like, yeah, be one with the sun. And this one's like, you're a badass motherfucker, own it.
So we just fast forwarded to 2022?
Yeah, that's just the 2022 version of the Dalai Lama.
Overall, good, bad?
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Cool.
Hopefully she has some for easy readers. But
yeah, cool.
I like them.
Well, Golden, shout out to you.
Once we find you.
Yeah, once we find you, it'll be a real shout out to you. But right now, shout out to you. But going into like relationships, things like that. Starting off, could you, in your opinion, in your words, what is the difference between a high value man versus a powerful man? Ooh. In your words, in your perception, in your opinion?
So, a powerful man can be a high value man, but a high value man is not always powerful.
What do you mean by that?
So, you can have your finances, your life, your health, whatever in order. But if you are not powerful, you don't have the confidence. You don't have like the patience with yourself. Like being a powerful man, mm-hmm. You're able to remove all those insecurities of what you would do to your partner negatively. I.e. like... Mm-hmm. Being jealous or being overprotective or controlling or manipulative or demeaning. Like being a high value man isn't always the best because you might not be powerful. To be powerful is to be a Sigma male Because that's a balanced male. Like there's the beta and then there's the alpha and then sigma's right there, and you have that like balancing quality. Like you're able to look at both sides of a scenario and kind of help alleviate whatever way or the other. So a high value man can be like, yeah, you ain't shit, girl, whatever, and still love the fuck out of her. Or am I not supposed to swear?
Oh no, we're not TikTok. We won't get banned.
So I think a powerful man has the opportunity to be positive with his high valueness, but a high value man isn't always attractive just because they have money. I think the power is where everything lies. Because I've dated, like I just was seeing this guy in Miami who had a boat, a Tesla, fucking condo in Miami, some house in the Keys in Key West. I forgot what else. And I couldn't stand him.
Wow.
I didn't even hang out with him long enough to go on the boat. I saw the boat. It existed.
Wait, hold on. You didn't even want to go on the boat?
I didn't even want to go on the boat.
Dang. And it's a lot of people that want to go on a boat?
There's a lot of people that want to go on a boat, okay?
Yeah. We just putting it out there. People want to go on a boat. She didn't want to go on the boat.
See? On the boat, for sure. On the boat? Well, because the thing is this, and I'm not going to say any specificities, but he called me a communist. Because, we had a conversation that he said was taboo about certain outside things. And I was like, it's not, I like making money, but I also love the people, so I'm in the middle. But he's like, oh, but you're a communist. Do you like Castro and all that shit? I'm like, whoa there. Chill. And then he was the type of person who would like talk to me as a woman that's there. Oh yeah, you know the woman. You know how the women get. Like, no. What do you mean the women? Like, you know, one of those like machismo men who like, yeah, just, you know, do what I tell you. I'll give you all the money, but do what I tell you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Letting the money,
He hated, like, he was totally down to drive all the time. I didn't really care. But he was also like, he would look at me when I would eat junk food and be like, leave me alone. I don't know. He was high value. He had a lot of money. But he wasn't powerful because I looked at him like a joke.
Could I say this? So would you say like whoever this person was, may have been someone that, do you really think the money or what have you got to his head to where he was like?
What I think is it's family money.
Okay. No, I'm just playing. No, go ahead.
No, bro, that's all. I think people with family money even understand. It's like this airheadedness in a way.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want it to be like that, sometimes it is. Like one of my closest friends, he's like this 22-year-old, like, it doesn't matter what he looks like, he's a skinny little guy. But he's so not arrogant or anything. Not even ignorant, he's just naive to certain things. Mm-hmm. So as much as he tries not to let the money cloud his judgment, it still does at times. Mm-hmm. But he's not boasting with it, you know? He's not being like, haha, yeah, I have all this money.
Openly, like, gloating.
Yeah.
This is me. He doesn't have to, like, walk in a room and say, like, XYZ.
Yeah. And this guy was, oh my God, I could not stand it. We had some argument one day, and I forgot what we literally, like, saw each other for, like, a week and a half. Could not handle it. It got, like, it's like, bye, go back to Miami.
Dang.
Yeah.
So that's when you don't want to get on a boat. I'm still on the boat. Like when you don't want to get on the boat.
So let me explain this. I've like not even been on a lot of boats, and I still didn't want to go on his boat.
Dang. She didn't want to go on your boat. Dang.
It was just so bad.
Yeah,
And then his dog, amazing dog, but he would like not even feed it all the time. And then it just gets worse and worse. Yeah. That's a high value man who is not powerful. But like true power comes from within. Like you have to really like enjoy yourself and love yourself to know that the money isn't what's buying this woman. You know, you do buy each other in a relationship because your qualities are going to either match or not, and then you find those compromises where it's like, you're buying me with your love, so I'm going to allow you to like give me advice that I'll listen to type shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm gonna put my guard down and you can grab my butt in the kitchen. I don't like my butt being grabbed. Or, you know, like stuff like that where it's like...
Kind of gives and takes.
Literally. But when people try to just move forward with just money and they don't have like a personality, it's gonna never go far, or you're gonna continue to be used.
Or they won't go on your boat.
Or you won't be on the boat.
And on that note, no, that's definitely like...
Oh no.
I'm flabbergasted. Don't ask me to spell that, but that's what I am right now.
Flabbergasted.
Going back more, TV14. No, for you, right? What would be an ideal first date for you? On a guy that's a normal guy, not like, you know, gloating that he, you know, a guy that you genuinely like, and you want to go on a first date with, like, what would that look like?
So the actual activity, I don't really care, but I have to eat.
Oh, so you have to be fed.
We have to eat. Mm-hmm. Okay. We have to eat. I don't care about drinking. Mm-hmm. I don't really care about if we smoke a lot, because that's like one of my deal breakers nowadays, is that you have to like really smoke or be okay and like love weed, but not, you know, maybe if you don't do whatever, but just
some acceptance for you.
Yeah, because I want it to be encouraging to you, like, oh my god, you haven't smoked, do you feel like smoking before we go in? Yeah, thank you so much. You know, even though you're not smoking, you're thoughtful about it. But so like the whole date has to just be like very genuine. It needs to be genuine, it needs to be fun, food, and then like some type of adventure, like whether it's as simple as sitting at a park or taking a helicopter ride, you know?
Yeah.
As long as it's adventure, it's totally cool. Because I feel like guys who shell out a lot on the first date, you're putting this expectation for the woman to be like, yeah, that shit's lit. Or you go out and you spend like $300 dinner and you think I'm a smash? Oh, honey, no. I have my own Uber.
Oh, shoot.
So, I mean, my ideal date is just like genuine fun and food.
Sweet. You can't beat fun and food. I mean, unless you got a boat. But then, if you got a boat and you know, whatever, then... Anyway. Hey,
well, because look, I could have gone on the boat. Okay? Could have gone on the boat. But I was in Miami and I was visiting because I didn't live there anymore. And my friend and my other friend were with me. And I had met dude the other night with one of my friends. So I was like, no, I can't go on the boat tonight. Maybe tomorrow. I'm with my friends. We're going to go here. So he's like, okay, I'll meet you there. And I was like, okay. He's like, my treat. And I was like, okay. Thinking he was just going to treat me, he treated all three of us. So I thought that was cool. So little things were like, okay, you're cool.
Yeah.
And then I became a communist. And it got a little weird.
And got a little weird?
And no boat.
Yeah. Hey, you said it for me? Alright, but I wanted to ask another crazy question, right? So, to you, do you think birth control should be available over the counter?
Yes.
And why?
Because you never know what lifestyle a person has. Just like I think, what is it called? Plan B needs to be cheaper. But I do also realize that making things more accessible makes it more condoned. Like, you're condoning the behavior of having crazy unprotected sex with random people to the point where you have to take Plan Bs all the time. I have a friend who has a drawer full. And it's weird. So
enough to fill a boat? Yeah, I did. No, this one. But,
oh, that poor guy. Oh, that poor guy. He was missing 3 fingers too, so I was like trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I can't. Anyway.
Okay, so back to birth control over the counter. I know it's like, it's so kind of like controversial. I'm putting it on the spot, but I'm just curious to know.
So, I personally have an IUD, and that's the intrauterine thingy up to hoo-ha. Stays in there for 5 to 7 years.
Wait. I just gotta emphasize, hey, hoo-ha. New word. Look it up. Okay.
Up to hoo-ha, like that. Just like that. I'm
just kidding.
But, yeah, so I actually wanted my tubes tied when I was 20. And they said, I would have to go through counseling for a year and blah, blah, blah. And then they started telling me that if you're married, you can't even get your tubes tied without your husband signing off. Then I really started looking into everything and understanding that there's still states that do not provide any type of birth control. There's states who have, like, even if they can't ban abortion, they can ban sales of stuff and Plan Bs and all that.
Yeah.
So I realized, like, holy shit, what if something were to happen and I have an oopsies and then blah, blah, blah. Because I don't want kids ever. So I think it should be easily acceptable to the point of, yes, over the counter. Obviously, like, go through that little questionnaire that they go through. Be 18, I guess. I wish everything was 21. But I think I'm biased because I'm 27. And I'm like, yeah, I can do everything. But for them to tell me that I couldn't do that at 20, I understand it. I haven't changed my mind yet. I still don't want kids. But having the ability to have an IUD helped me alleviate having an oopsies. It helped me alleviate someone trapping me, because men do that. And then it also helped me with like my health problems. Yeah. Like I had really irregularities and like my body hurt all the time and shit was just crazy to the yeah. So birth control itself, if we eliminate like the point of abortion and Plan B, should be really easily accessible and over the counter. Plan B should go down in price. But you should definitely go down in price. But they should have a more rigorous process on abortions, because I think some people do use it as birth control, and that's a little whack. But
I see what you're saying. Yeah, so like you said, pretty much with it being available over the counter, like it's like in one sense you don't want to condone the possible behavior, but in another sense, like you said, it could, possibly alleviate like other stuff from happening or stuff escalating to where like baby is born and then now. So yeah, it's definitely a touchy topic, and I wanted to ask someone specifically, possibly from like Chicago or something, what they think on it, because the people I know from there are normally pretty like they go say what they feel. Yeah. But no, I appreciate that. But like you said, it's like it's one of those things where it's like you don't want to condone it, but at the same time, like you can see how it could possibly alleviate a lot of other stuff from happening, and like I definitely get the vibes on that, because it's like what's others topics is kind of like that, or certain things where it's like in one sense the more you hold something back, the more people retaliate or find ways around it and this and that,
and it becomes dangerous, and then you have the coat hanger fucking abortions that are not actually happening. But if someone actually thinks that it is possible to do that, they're gonna go out of their way to do it. You know how scary it could be to, let's say you're getting kicked out by your parents because you're having a fucking kid. Now what? Now you and that baby are on the streets. Or let's say you're on a bunch of like drugs and alcohol and it's a real oops, and you don't know how that baby's gonna come out. Or you do know how that baby's gonna come out. And now you're in a position of a whole scenario that you were never prepared for or trying to do. And even though it was very irresponsible to have unprotected sex with people and blah, 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 people are going to do it. We're getting into an age of a lot of open and expressiveness, and I think that's why that difference between a powerful man and a high value man is even coming around, because people don't want to be in complacency. Yeah.
Shoot. So, one more thing for you. So, we talked a little bit about, like the birth control, all that stuff like that. The men. So, in your, in your words, is there any advice you could possibly give to women out there who are possibly dealing with, let's say, men who are not necessarily powerful men, but they're dealing with men who are maybe high value or have, a lot of accolades or money, accessible to them and things like that, and maybe they're in a relationship where, they're not being treated right, or the man is looking at them as like an object.
So I think that becomes to each their own situation, because you could be in a situation where if you start voicing yourself and you create your boundaries in enough time or within enough time, you could totally change the dynamic. But at some point or another, you cannot teach an old dog new tricks, and I feel like that's abuse at that point. You're in a scenario of manipulation, degradation, and I like that word, and you're gonna always be minimized. You're never gonna have
so if
the ability to change it. So what you need to do is either reevaluate your boundaries with one another or leave.
So for women in that situation, it's like, you know, I guess what I'm trying to say are there for like the money or the lifestyle or things like that. Do you, in your opinion, is that something to where like that would be worth leaving that situation if that woman has the lifestyle and stuff they want, or what, or like is it just?
Or are you telling me that this woman, that like this figurative woman that we're talking about, that's stuck in a situation where she's not respected, but she has all the money and everything in the world?
Yeah, pretty much like she has the lifestyle she wants and the money, but like probably not getting, you know, there's probably other women involved.
Oh, so if she's gonna forever stay, like what do I?
Yeah, like do you recommend that they, I don't know, possibly venture elsewhere, or do they stay in, or if that's like, well, he's providing a lifestyle and things that.
Well, there's a couple of things you could do. You could go see whoever you want to see. If he's so distracted enough that he's with other women, he's not going to realize you're with other men or women.
So she almost can play the card back on him.
Play it back. Make yourself a nest egg. Sorry, honey, my nails are $250 and not $150.
Oh shoot.
Oh yeah. Or leave. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Or just deal with it. Like if you're in a situation where you're getting taken care of, and the only reason you don't want to leave is because you don't want to struggle, deal with it. But find ways to make yourself happy, because there's no point of being miserable just because you have shoes and a car and house and all of that. Why are you gonna be miserable? You don't even get to enjoy your items, enjoy your home, enjoy your kids. I've seen people have kids with people and they're so unhappy. Have a kid and leave. There you go. That's probably like the ultimate like way to escape with everything you would want.
Dang. So you keep the lifestyle and then. All right, hey, she giving y'all way too much free.
Hey, city girls out.
Oh, I'm dead. Way too much free chicken. But no, I really appreciate you, you know, sharing your points and your possible tips and tricks for those of you who
tips and tricks for chicken.
Who want the best of both worlds. But do you have any like social media, anything like that? If people want to like tap in with you, follow you, want to know more, like you want to shout anything out or?
Yeah, I mean, so again, I'm a creative business consultant, so I definitely help people just work on themselves and their businesses and their lifestyles and their brands. So it's called Koala Times, like the herb. So it's KOALA THYMES. So I'm the alternative remedy to like the everyday consultant that you would have, because I'll help you know when to poop, when to drink, when to eat, when to work, when to sleep type shit.
Everything you need in one.
I can even put the link for the planner I use.
Hey,
I don't know that by hand, but
we'll definitely plug it in. But no, I definitely want to say on camera, like, thank you for coming out and like being on the podcast. And you guys may not know, but like she actually like supported me from like day zero when like I was barely transparent podcast. Now I go in the grocery store, they're like, hey, that's transparent. But no, I really do appreciate you coming and like actually keeping your word. It's a real one right here. She like I said, from day zero she was like, yeah, I got you, and now she finally here. And it's crazy it's even happening, but I just want to say thank you, and like the support been crazy, real, and like, and she cool. So
thanks. I mean, I couldn't be here without the support that I've had. I started from nothing. I mean, I was a kid in a candy store when I started going to events back in 2015, and I guess I'll close out with this. Is like, since then, in 2019, I started becoming more industry because people were like, oh my God, Vanessa, like, you're always helping people, but you're never making money from it. You don't charge people for this. And I was like, no. Now, half of my clients pay me, half of them don't. And I'm at $100 an hour. And I'm totally okay with it, and I feel like I can't ask for that now. Because of everything I've done. And like even her, like smoke signals, hey, shout out, motivación, like I will always support my people because they supported me, or they've done like, they've given a lending hand or an ear, and it's helped me find my worth and my standing in the industry that I never even knew I was gonna actually be working in. So becoming an attorney is my main goal. Intellectual property attorney, so copyrights, trademarks, all that is my end goal. So having all of this consulting and all these brands and businesses and people around me is not just for being nice. It's because I know I'm good at what I do, and that eventually I will legally be able to turn this gray market into what I want it to be.
Wow. Shoot, well, we wish you like all the best in like endeavors, all that stuff. But no, like definitely, like I said, I appreciate you, and then like the support from you has been real. So definitely, like we want to support you back. And like I said, we'll plug all her stuff in. If you want to tap in with her, you know, get you some advice, get you some other stuff, whatever you want to get.
God.
We'll plug
I'm not
her
a drug dealer, guys.
I'm dead. We'll plug her in. But we just want to say thank you again.
Can we just touch base on like these perfect teeth?
Hey, chill.
Go ahead.
But no, we just want to, like I said, we just want to thank you. I know I said thank you 100 times, but really.
No, I really appreciate it. Like I saw it when it was a tiny little table with like things. I was like, oh yeah, for sure, go ahead.
It was rough.
And it wasn't sarcasm. I was like, yeah, get your shit.
Yeah. But when you seen it, it was a lot better, right?
It's awesome. I mean, everybody grows at their own pace, and like I told you, it's gonna start snowballing. That's what it is. I was looking for that word earlier.
See?
The more you get, it's like, especially once all the bigger things are out of like getting organized and shit, like, you know, all of this, you start getting all the little things, you know, little backgrounds, and it makes it exciting. So it's cool to see people grow.
Cool.
Anything I can do is I'm always here.
We appreciate that. Well, everyone, we just want to thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Transparent Podcast. We hope you guys stay safe, and we'll see you guys soon. All right, later.